I've got some really exciting news. Our operating partners on the commercial multifamily space have agreed to invite new investors into some of our future deals. We are proud to bring these institutional style opportunities to investors within our community. In order to have access to these investments, you have to sign up at theinvestormindset.com/invest. And we have thousands of people who listen to the podcast, and we typically only allow 50 people to invest in each deal. So make sure you head over there right now, because once we send out the email announcing our next deal, it'll likely be sold out and oversubscribed. So get started at theinvestormindset.com/invest, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. This is the Investor Mindset Podcast, and I'm Stephen Pesavento. For as long as I can remember, I've been obsessed with understanding how we can think better, how we can be better, and how we can do better. And each episode, we explore lessons on motivation and mindset from the most successful real estate investors and entrepreneurs in the nation. Welcome back to this week's Mindset Minutes episode on the Investor Mindset Podcast, and I'm Stephen Pesavento, and each week we share mindset tips and strategies that can help you grow your investing business. And this week, we're jumping into a 4-part series comparing the difference between investing in single family versus multifamily and looking to answer the question, which one's best for you? And join us each week as we share more tips and strategies to help compound your growth and really allow you to hit true financial freedom through real estate by hitting that subscribe button. And if you love what we're doing, we'd appreciate a review on your favorite podcasting app. So as we dive in here, we're going to set the stage of some definitions. When we talk about single family, we're talking specifically about single family homes or multifamily properties that are under 5 units. So we typically will bunch all of these together under the residential side of real estate. So we're going to be calling that single family homes. And anything that is over 100 units or more, we're going to be calling multifamily. Of course, we're leaving out all the multifamily properties from 5 units to 100, but we're doing that on purpose, with purpose, to make a clear, distinctive comparison between investing in residential real estate versus investing in commercial. So as we dive into it, you guys know that I've been investing in single family homes for, over 3 years, done over 200 deals. I've held on to a number of rental properties and flipped quite a few houses. And I've made a hard decision and switch to moving towards commercial real estate. And what I'm going to be walking through here today is the specific facts of what the difference is between the two. And I'll share a little bit of my opinion. But at the end of the day, each of these is going to have its own benefits that are going to fit for you. So I'm going to lay those out and you guys can make your own decisions, as we're going to be talking specifically today about getting started and the direct cost of direct ownership. So there's some clear benefits for single family and multifamily, and we're going to be getting into those here. So when we look at getting started with single family, one of the big benefits is that it's a much quicker process to getting started and really getting your investing career going. One of the reasons is because it requires a lot less experience to be able to succeed. As a single family homeowner and you're going to be buying a rental property, let's say, you've most likely lived in a single family home or at least an apartment, and you have a good idea of what some of the mechanicals and moving parts that are in that property. So you come to the table with a little bit more experience than you do moving in to a much larger commercial building or residential commercial building like we're going to talk about. So one of those benefits is that you already have a lot of the experience necessary to get started in single family. There's a lot of things that you can learn and you must learn to really be an expert, but it's much, much lower barrier to entry, and the direct cost of ownership is much lower. There's some big benefits there for those people who absolutely must be in control of every part of their investment. From start to finish, direct cost of ownership is something you really have to consider, because being a direct owner means that you're responsible for making all the decisions that happens. You're going to be responsible for putting property management in place. You're going to be responsible for signing on the loan. You're going to be responsible for making the decision on what's the right investment and when you should buy, sell, renovate, or anything that has to go into that property. And with single family, it's a much lower cost to getting started with direct ownership. And for people who need to be in control, this is an absolute must. I strongly encourage people to go down the path of direct ownership if you are somebody who absolutely has to be in control. If you're the kind of person who doesn't see a lot of value or benefit of having, an expert or somebody else manage the property, and you have some trust issues or concerns about having somebody else managing your investment, then going the direct ownership route is probably what's best for you. But when we look at multifamily, one of the benefits of multifamily is that we're looking at a much larger asset. But the downside with that, of course, is that from a getting started perspective, to really succeed and do really well when you're talking about 100-unit multifamily or larger, these commercial buildings require some serious expertise. They require a track record of experience. And so it's absolutely critical that when you're investing in commercial real estate, that you're investing with operators that have a long track record of experience. So even for myself, as I've moved into this space and I'm actively investing and participating in deals, I myself have tied myself to other operators that are absolute experts. I know that, even with my real estate track record and experience, which is more than most people's, I wouldn't want to step into the commercial arena and be going up against all these sharks without the right kind of protection and experience in place and the right team around me to make sure that we're making those decisions. Because when you're talking about a decision that's going to affect 100 units, or a 10 or 15 or $20 million property, the implications of making the wrong decision can be much more dramatic than if you are making those decisions on a $100,000 or $200,000 property. So the downside to investing in multifamily or commercial real estate is that it really requires a level of experience and expertise. So that means if you're just getting started, it's going to be much, much more difficult for you to be in a position of control. So you're not going to have that opportunity to have direct ownership unless you have a really big, checkbook to be able to write a really big check, to be able to come in as a direct owner and maybe partner with an operator. So when we look at these two things, direct ownership and the ease of getting started, single family definitely wins here. If you're somebody who has to be in control, then going down this path of buying a couple rental properties on your own, that's a huge advantage. However, one of the big advantages of going down the path of investing with an operating group in multifamily is that you're going to be tying yourself to somebody with 5-10 years or more track record of experience, right? You're going to be working with somebody who absolutely knows every little piece of how that puzzle fits together. And they're going to be focusing all of their time and attention, pulling all the levers to make sure that that investment operates at the top tier that it can. And one of the benefits too on the multifamily front, when you're investing from a passive perspective, when you're investing in that type of position, right, you're able to get into a deal maybe for $25,000, maybe $50,000, maybe $100,000. And your risk is limited specifically only to the amount that you're investing because you're in a limited partner type of role. So the benefit there is that if you don't require or don't want all the responsibility that goes along with being in control of every single decision, every paperwork, every signature, and signing on the loans and all of the liability that goes along with it, and if you're comfortable building enough trust in an operator with some experience, you can truly be passive and hands off on that investment, meaning that when you invest that $50,000 or $100,000 in one of these deals, that what actually ends up coming back to you is directly just the return. There's no, tenants' toilets or late night phone calls. There's no worrying about a tenant trashing one of your units. I just went through that on a property that I'm selling in North Carolina where a tenant trashed the property right before they moved out. And I just spent $7,000 fixing the property that I had spent the year before getting it ready for them in the first place. So you don't have to be the one making these decisions or dealing with the implications because the operator is the one who's in that position. Sure, everything will funnel down its way to you, but somebody else is making those calls. So at the end of the day, it comes down to kind of a personality fit on whether or not you're somebody who can truly be passive in a deal. If you're somebody who's comfortable investing in experienced operators that can make these decisions for you, or if you're somebody who has to be in control of everything, that's what it's going to come down to. So if we weigh the two, single family is best if you need to be in control and you have the time and the ability to go out and try to build that expertise in the space. And multifamily, specifically commercial multifamily, is best if you're looking for a passive option, a passive opportunity. And of course, you can come in from an operator perspective, but like I'm doing and like many others have, you're going to have to tie yourself to an experienced operator to succeed. And you're going to have to work really, really hard to bring a lot of value to those people. You're going to have some kind of track record to be able to do that coming in. So when we look at it, these are the things that you want to consider. And so I ask you, which one do you think is the best for you? And we're going to continue this discussion. Shoot me a message at Steven.Pesavento on Instagram. Would love to hear from you in the DMs, or you can find me on LinkedIn as well. And if you guys are looking for more great content like this, we have a full resource library and continuing series at theinvestormindset.com/multifamily, where we've got this full series, articles, and many others with some great free training that you can get access to anytime. So head right over to theinvestormindset.com/multifamily. I look forward to seeing you there and within our free Facebook group online. As we mentioned at the top of the episode, our operating partners in the commercial multifamily space have agreed to invite new investors into some of our future deals. And in order to have access to these investments, remember, you first have to register over at theinvestormindset.com/invest. This will get you access to lots and lots of great training that's going to help you better understand what makes up a great investment in the multifamily space. But most importantly, when we have one of these new opportunities available, you'll be first to know and you'll be in line to make a decision to be able to jump in, because most likely these will be oversubscribed and sold out very, very quickly. So to get started, head over to theinvestormindset.com/invest, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Thank you for listening to the Investor Mindset Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Head over to theinvestormindset.com to join the Insider Club, where we share tools and strategies from the top investors and entrepreneurs on how to take it to the next level.